Christmas is coming, the snowflakes will be falling.
I love this stuff. The lip oil from Kosas, and the color is Unhooked. Enjoying this 73-degree weather right now. I'm so happy to be home. The lovely gingerbread cookies my daughter made. As much as I want to clean up that area, I know she's gonna wake up from her nap and like want to finish her projects. I'm just gonna leave it. But funny story about New York, we were actually gonna possibly look at a home there. Our lease is ending here. We basically were giving it like a 1-year shot to like find a house, find somewhere that we can stay like 3 to 5 years, create family memories without committing to like a forever home. Shirt is really weird. It kind of like wrinkles weird. But anyway, if you have been watching the housing market, like it really exploded in South Florida. It became so crazy here with like the prices, but then the people competing for the homes. In Miami and Fort Lauderdale is outside Miami, it hasn't really slowed down. Yes, higher interest rates like have kind of helped with the competition, but when we go to open houses, there's still so many people there. When we've submitted offers, we're not the only offer being submitted. My husband does mortgages, so he does them here in New York, and he said that it like significantly slowed down in New York, but South Florida, not so much. We were thinking maybe of just taking that as a sign and moving back to New York. Didn't really want to do that. Like on paper, so much of New York makes sense. I don't know if anyone can relate to that, where there could be an area that feels so homey and like home, but you don't want to live there. I just know if we lived outside of New York City, we would be driving a lot more. Me and Violet walk to places here. Her activities are within 5 to 10 minutes. Again, living in a city has that perk. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is I feel very at home here. I feel like I've got to meet like so many nice people, so many nice moms, but we do want to own a home and our lease is coming up. Jared sent me a few houses in New York, really nice houses, all our style. A lot of the houses we looked in South Florida, if we want to stay by the beach, we will have to renovate, and we do want to stay like in walking distance to the beach. So a lot of those homes are like just more outdated, just need work, and still a very high price point. So the fact that we could spend less and get a house that we really liked in New York, it just felt like the right decision to do. I just let it go to the universe, just like surrendered. Literally that week that I surrendered and was like, okay, I'll just do what's working. Like clearly finding a house here isn't. That is when a house in our dream location, dream inside style, came on the market. We made an offer. We got accepted. We did the inspection. Just waiting on a couple more things. I don't really like to talk about things until they're like done. Literally FaceTiming Jared because I make the worst coffee.
You don't make the best.
So how many scoops of this?
I kind of eyeball it. Show me
the 1/3 cup you have in there. I told everyone about the house. So do you know how it's coming?
It's coming good.
Also, how cute are my holiday grip socks? I think it's gonna be just fine. This creamer, oh my God. Hands down, the best. This is peppermint mocha. It's so good. Yay, it came out good. Come away. You guys did such a good job. Look at the moon, guys.
I mean, that's old enough. I made it my own.
Just got back from my blowout. It seriously feels so silky. I do get a blowout once a week, except during the summer. The summer I feel like I'm constantly in the ocean, I'm in the pool, there's just no point, so I let my hair just go, or I use my Dyson. Something I want to say that's like a blowout tip, if you are gonna like spend the money, you want it to last, ask them to do some curls going towards your face and some away, is because when they all go away from your face, the curls turn into like one, whereas when you have some going different direction, gives it more longevity. Okay, so while I'm waiting for Violet to wake up, I might as well do a little haul. So both of those boxes are from American Girl, so I'm just gonna wrap those and give them to her on Christmas. So I've been posting about this planner for 3 years now. The brand is Day Design. I'm a little disappointed that they didn't do the binder one this year. So this one's more the notebook version. I don't know, I like the binder because it's small. This brand is just a good layout. The Day Design, I don't know, I just like love how they put it together, and I've literally been using this planner for 3 years. I mainly use the calendar, like the big overall look, but occasionally if I have like more detailed things to write, then I'll use the next one. This is such a big component in changing your lifestyle. You gotta become a planner, whether you like it or not. I know some people are like, I don't need to write it down, I don't need to do this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Then I got wrapping paper. I let Violet pick it out. She picked out this one, the snowman and the Santa one, and then this one with dogs. Of course, my daughter is obsessed with dogs, as am I. And then I got Jared this Christmas robe that he can start wearing in the morning. Could you die? How cute are these little shoes?
What she would like.
She wants a tea party set. Yeah, honey? Oh, we're both wearing our Uggs, look! So, we're going on the morning walk. This is the morning walk outfit. Me and Vi are always in our Uggs. It's Saturday morning, so I have a little extra time today. We're gonna attempt to make an eggnog latte. I have all the ingredients right here. We're starting with a half a cup of almond milk. Okay, you wanna pour it all in your blender. Okay, 3/4 cup of eggnog. I love the smell of eggnog though. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Not even gonna measure this out. I'm just gonna use this little cap. That's what I always do. Okay, 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. Forgot that. Okay, it says you can use coconut sugar or maple syrup. I'm just using regular sugar because I don't know where our coconut sugar went. I'm just gonna add those things in there. Okay, and then cinnamon. And then you top it with like whipped cream and all the stuff after, but let's blend this first. All right, then she says to heat it up over the stove. I just took a sip of this before I add the whipped cream. This is so good. You guys are gonna have to make this. Add your cinnamon. Yum. Workout outfit of the day. Yeah, you gotta get your shoes on so we can go on our walk, okay? Let me see.
For the doll.
Oh, right, that is for the doll. I like to set up little goals for myself. It's currently Sunday morning, and today I'm prioritizing movement, groceries, and laundry. Fun stuff, but I really love a Sunday reset. I think everybody should do a Sunday reset. Okay, so this is everything we got at the grocery store for Jared and Vi. And then for me, I'm doing the Sakara 30-day reset. So I organize it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm so excited. Hey guys, so we just got home. I'm gonna start dinner now. And this is another thing that has changed my life, and that is resisting the urge to order out, or order in, I should say, like Uber Eats, all of that stuff, and going out to eat. Because I feel like going out to eat gives you like the sense that like you're doing something. I'm just gonna grab a soda while I'm talking. These Zevias, the creamy root beer. I don't know, this isn't something I would pick out, but Jared always buys these and they kind of grew on me. Anyway, I'm gonna make us taco salads for dinner. Going out to eat and ordering in can be really fun, especially going out to eat. Like, it's the experience too. Since resisting that urge, like, I am able to maintain a healthy weight without counting calories and counting macros, because I'm telling you, like, even that eggnog latte, it's less calories at home, less sugar at home. You control what you're putting into it. You control the oils you're using. End rant about that. I'm gonna do lettuce as my base, and then I got this fresh pico de gallo beans. This is my favorite taco seasoning, the Siete brand. Mexican cheese, and the meat I use is ground bison. Yummy bowls. Hey guys, so it's the last day that I'm filming. Today's the day that I want to sit and have my chit chat, kind of like a 2022 recap of things that changed my body, things that changed my mindset, just valuable life lessons. Big sister advice, you could say. The first one is, and I'm mentioning this one as my first one because I'm constantly asked this, is do you count macros, do you count calories, and this and that. So that brings me to my first tip is when it comes to changing your body, you want to do something sustainable. Honestly, for your mindset too, but I'm going to kind of go back and forth. One tip will be for the body, one tip will be for the mindset, but you have to do things that are going to be sustainable, because I can easily go on a low carb diet and lose a ton of weight, get super lean, see ab definition. But is low carb sustainable for my lifestyle when I'm cooking for my husband, my daughter? Kind of hard to be always making different things for me than for her. The girl likes pasta, so does my toddler, so does my husband. And my daughter will pretty much eat any vegetable, any protein if it's in a pasta. So that's what I do. But the question you might be wondering is, okay, but how do you lose the weight? You're gonna change your body is from what you eat. So basically what I do, I plan out my meals ahead of time. So on Sunday night, I'll actually write out what I'm having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I'll have like 2 snacks, and that's it. And I really try to keep it this simple plan. And when you actually plan it out, like, oh, for breakfast, I'm having a yogurt bowl, or I'm having a protein smoothie. For lunch, I'm having tuna fish on top of a salad. For dinner, we're having steak. That right there, planning out my meals ahead of time, has helped me maintain a healthy weight, and in the beginning helped me lose the last 5 pounds and change my body this year. If I just wing it, I'm just probably gonna overeat. My second tip that I learned this year, which was a mindset tip, is when you are building wealth, it's not always like sexy. What I've come to learn is that it takes a lot of sacrifices. Maybe canceling a trip that you were excited to go on, or maybe going out to eat less, not buying those designer shoes you had your eyes on. So that's what I've learned with building wealth that I think a lot of people don't talk about, is that when you're building wealth, you do have to have this more disciplined mindset to say no to things that are your short-term goals. So it might be short-term satisfaction of like the cute Hermes sandals that everyone wears. I look at that money like I can put that into the stock market, or I can use that as a down payment on a loan to get an income property. I heard a quote this year that was so accurate to like what I'm talking about, and that is, rich talks, wealth whispers. You could be like short-term rich and flaunt like labels and cars and all of these things, but if you're looking to build long-term wealth or wealth for your children, it might not look like anything now. Other thing with building wealth is you definitely have to get a handle on shiny object syndrome, and like constantly making objects your next goal or the next thing that you want. Each year you make more money, but then you spend more money, so you're not really actually making more money because you're just spending more money. That all comes with shiny object syndrome. Like you get a $50,000 raise and then you buy a new car that's twice as expensive as your previous car, so you're not really like keeping any of that raise. Or each year you keep raising your expectations of the things you should have. So, and it really all comes down to what's your long-term goals. Once you figure those out, then it makes saying no to things in the short term a lot easier. My third tip is actually a body and mindset tip, and it's Sunday resets. Please, 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 please start doing your Sunday resets if you're not currently. Sundays are actually my favorite day of the week. We either go to the farmer's market or we go to Whole Foods and we just like stock up the fridge. Before we even stock it up, we actually clear everything out. My husband will like clean the fridge and then we'll put in the new groceries, and there's just nothing like seeing your fridge full and options. Like I love seeing options. I love seeing like we have different proteins to make, we have different fruit and vegetables to snack on, and you'll just see what a mindset shift you will have about eating healthy and just staying consistent during the week, doing your healthy habits, doing your rituals. You'll actually see that by looking in your fridge or seeing your kitchen cleaned, or maybe it's the time you do your laundry. I have this rule that our laundry baskets have to go completely empty on Sundays. Like we do all the laundry. We do it during the week too. It's not like I save it all for Sunday, but on Sunday I make sure to like really do multiple loads and just make sure we have fresh towels and that my daughter has all her Christmas PJs cleaned, that I have my favorite workout sets that I'm excited to wear to Pilates, which then motivates me to go to Pilates. So it's just have your Sunday resets, have the things that you like to do. Don't overwhelm yourself. Like, I don't work out on Sunday. Putting the effort into Sunday like that and creating these Sunday resets is like the perfect way to start Monday and the perfect way to start the week. And my last tip number 4, is non-negotiables. Every single person has to have a couple non-negotiables. My non-negotiables is I'm working out at least twice a week. I'm also in a mom's tennis group where we play tennis. I guess I could count that as a workout too, because it's lots of running. So if we count that, then I work out 3 days a week. So getting in that is a non-negotiable. My Sunday reset is a non-negotiable. You're setting a boundary when you have your non-negotiables. Like, no, this is what's happening. I'm going to prioritize this over something else, because something always has to give. You can never do everything and be everything to everyone. So what I found was that people have respected my boundaries when I've set them up. You will set yourself up to be a people pleaser, to be used, and all sorts of things if you don't set boundaries and if you don't respect yourself enough to have non-negotiables. Figure out what they are, take time, like, you know, write some things down. Like, what is it that you need to fill your cup, and then set that as like, that's the new standard. Every year I want to continue to raise my standards. Yeah, once I started looking at it like that, that's like a famous thing Tony Robbins used to always say was raise your standards. It really gets you to see that your life is entirely up to you. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Comment down below anything you want to see next, and I'll see you guys soon.